Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Shoulda Tea Tuesdays. How are you doing today? I hope you are doing fabulous. I really do. It's the last Tuesday of 2025, and whew, I think we all about ready for the new year to kick it off, to do something different, just to restore, renew the whole nine yards, everything. So, without further ado, because we have a lot of things that we have to discuss today, and I'm hoping that everything works the way it's supposed to work. So keep our fingers crossed. Remember, I am a production team of of one. So we're going to hope that this is going to kick off with a blast. But you have seen the calling, which is the screening that we're going to show today, and it's roughly about an hour and 24 minutes long. And then, of course, we're going to have some a group of young ladies that's going to come on and have a discussion with us. Now, I'll give you a disclaimer now that Lala is not able to join us, or Loren is not able to join us because she got called into work. So, when duty calls, you gotta go. You gotta go. But we do have the amazing Dashari, and you've probably heard of her podcast, The Perspective, several times before. And so she will be able to join us later on after this screening. So, without further ado, I hope that you're ready to explore this documentary. I do want to definitely say my thanks to um, the Picture Motion for giving me the opportunity to do this screening and also reaching out to me. I have shown other documentaries that they've done. And so I'm just thankful for this opportunity that I'm able to have and to share this with you. So we're going to hope that this works. I'm just going to make sure that it times in. So if you're not able to hear it or if something happens, definitely let me know. But let's tune into the calling. Here we go. Okay. So hold on real quick, guys, because I think some is telling me that you're not able to hear the video. Okay, so let's hold on. Yeah, hold on. Hold on just a second. Let me redo something. See, I said I wanted to make sure. And you know how you double check before you get out? Okay. So hold on real quick, guys, because I think some is telling me that you're not able to hear. Sorry. I know I got my live stream going. Just double checking. Okay. All right. So here it goes. Let's try this again. Thank you for your patience. You are the greatest. There we go.
We, the class of 2026, are embarking on a lifelong pursuit of service and knowledge, training in one of the most diverse counties in the United States of America.
We, the class of 2026, are embarking on a lifelong pursuit of service and knowledge, training in one.
When I was younger, I felt like I had a purpose, and my purpose was to help people. I didn't know how that would turn out, but it turns out that, medicine was the path for me.
We pledge to exemplify the virtues of doctoring, extending our utmost regard, compassion, and service to all individuals who put their trust in our hands.
We pledge to exemplify the virtues of doctoring, extending our utmost regard, compassion, and service.
I grew up here in the Bronx, about 10 minutes away. My parents are originally from Dominican Republic. As diverse as the Bronx is, resources are still segregated in the city. And unfortunately, our Black and brown communities and our low-income families are the people that suffer because of it.
We will spare no effort in the ongoing battle against health inequities and all forms of prejudice.
We will spare no effort in the ongoing battle against health inequities and all forms of prejudice.
Growing up, I passed by Einstein all the time. It was on my way home from school, but it seemed like a separate world. As I got older, I kind of realized the magnitude of that. I was like, we have a medical school in the Bronx. Like, that's actually pretty cool when you think about it. I didn't think I would ever study medicine here, but here I am.
We, the Albert Einstein College of Medicine class of 2026, accordingly make this oath to our patients, to science, to our communities, and to ourselves, today and for the rest of our lives.
Ladies, this side. Got shift them over. Okay, guys, here we go. All right, arms up. Woo! Nice, guys.
The Calling, a medical school journey, was made possible in part by the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation's Program in Public Understanding of Science and Technology, Burroughs Wellcome Fund, the Blavatnik Family Foundation, and by the Peter and Yvette Ankema Von Dyke Foundation.
In New York, an enduring memorial rises. The Albert Einstein College of Medicine, honoring a scientist who renounced Hitler's Germany in 1933.
I am grateful that Yeshiva University has honored me by using my name in connection with the new College of Medicine. There is a shortage of physicians in this country, and there are many young people able and eager to study medicine who, under present circumstances, are deprived of the opportunity to do so.
When I was 14, I knew I wanted to be a doctor. But the only idea of college that I really had, because I was the first one to go, was, oh, you go to whatever school wants to give you a scholarship and you go play basketball. College is super expensive, and I knew my family couldn't afford to take me to college. Basketball just focused me and shifted my mindset to a different goal than people that I grew up with. So it's been a long 4 years, but going through that journey, every exam you take, every rotation you get through, you're one step closer to your dream. The goal is to be the first doctor sponsored by Nike. Usually you got to be an athlete and go to the WNBA to be sponsored, but who knows?
Welcome to the first anatomy lab. Please make sure if you do wish to touch things and palpate, do what have you with the cadavers, please make sure you have gloves and aprons, and good luck to everyone.
But if at any time you feel uncomfortable, there are seats behind you and you can take some air outside. Never know who's going to be triggered. It's really interesting process. We want to respect the fact that if you don't feel well, just get out of here, okay? We'll come check on you, okay? All right, so are we ready? Okay. I'm sure that she would be fascinated by the fact that we donated for our observation purposes. She's a very small cadaver patient, but look how many intestines she has. It's like shocking.
If it was like cancerous or anything like that, would it be black, or what would the color be now?
It's a great question. There's a variable amount of presentations, but a lot of times with cancer, you'll feel hard nodularity, particularly in the mesentery and in the functional tissue.
Yeah.
So when someone has an internal bleed, they'll usually have something called melena, where they'll defecate and it turns black. Do you folks want to see the appendix? Oh, you're going to be so shocked. All right, you ready? That's the appendix. Go ahead and feel it. Yes, this floppy structure. So, yes. I know. It's called a vermiform appendix because it's a worm-like.
هلا ماما، كيفك؟
ايه كيفك؟ طمني.
منيح الحمد لله، ما في شيء.
عندك اليوم دوام؟
ايه ما هو كل يوم في دوام، بس اليوم كان في لاب، يعني كان لازم نروح نشوف الكادافرز. يعني ما كتير سريعة، يعني ما ملحق. يعني عم أقول أنا لو ما كنت دارسة هي بالجامعة كنت عن جد ما بعرف.
كيف تلعب للقات؟
ايه. Whenever I call my parents, they're always like, "What did you learn today? What is that?" And then they're like, I tell them, and then like they correct me on stuff. No, you said that wrong. It's this thing. It's this. So they're always like intrigued about what I'm learning and stuff. But it's also there's a language barrier. Like sometimes I tell them, "Oh, we learned about that," and they're like, "What is that?" Because they learned it in Arabic, right?
يعني مبسوط.
الحمد لله، أي منيح مبسوط. يعني هلا بلشنا عم نفوت بهدول الشغلات أكثر، وعم نخلص يعني الإميونولوجي وهيك شيء. فصارت أكثر يعني big picture kind of stuff. I basically grew up in my parents' clinic. My dad is a general surgeon and my mom is a OBGYN. They were my first inspiration to becoming a doctor, just seeing their life and how they interact with their patients and how much their patients value them and their work. There was a civil war in Syria. Things got closer to home and the situation became more dangerous. So my parents and I moved to the US. That's where I've been ever since, but they had to go back to Syria eventually. We're originally Palestinian refugees. My grandparents left Palestine back in 1948. I was basically stateless up until I got the US citizenship. So the only thing I am technically is an American. I love Syria, but I also know how much opportunities I'd be missing out on if I don't study here. If you study in the US and you graduate as a US doctor, you could basically work anywhere in the world.
دير بالك على حالك ماما.
ماشي.
دير بالك ايه.
ماشي.
الله يرضى عليك
ماشي.
يا رب.
يلا مع السلامة. باي باي.
طبعا.
باي.
All right, so here's my white coat ceremony. And that's my little sister and my little brother. And then my mom's in the middle. And this is me and my nieces and nephews. I'm also on white coat. This was Christmas, the first Christmas after my brother passed away. He was murdered the June before I started medical school. Throughout my life, I went to public schools, and they never really prepared me for the next level. College was hard. I was not prepared for the workload at all. But coming into medical school, I'm like, all I have to do is pass. If I pass on my tests, I know I'll be a doctor. But when I got the first couple quizzes, I didn't pass them. Then I'm like, But then like when I finally buckled down and studied for the exams, like when I passed my first exam, I'm like, oh, wait, maybe I could do that. I think that was like the first shock that I was like, oh, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm struggling a little bit, but I'm doing this. It's hard, but I'm doing it.
This is my last year of medical school, and it's a year where we apply to residencies. There's a lot of emotions when you're doing all these applications. I think you're excited because you're almost there, and you're nervous because you don't know what's going to happen. So right now we're sending applications to these residency programs, and they'll get back to us in a couple of months if they're going to offer you an interview or not. You rank your program, how you would want to match from most preferred to least preferred, and then the algorithm kind of does its magic, and then you find out all the electives we've done, all the programs we've been a part of for the past 4 years, that's all been working up to this kind of moment when you press submit. My top choice would be the family medicine residency at Montefiore here in the Bronx. I would love to stay here. I love being here. I love the Bronx. I love my people.
I think you all understand that healthcare is more than just the person coming in, talking to the doctor, talking to their provider, getting a prescription, and then going home, right? There are so many different things that impact a person's life on a day-to-day basis, even before they show up at your clinic. What can we do? It feels so overwhelming to address social determinants, structural determinants as a single, not even as a physician in your case, as first-year medical students. It's like, feels very overwhelming. This feels very challenging, and I hear you. But there are different ways that you can get involved. The first one is just understanding the healthcare disparities of the communities you're serving, especially being in a community like the Bronx.
So on Saturdays, I try to give some of my time to this community organization. They're called Grassroots Grocery. Basically, their whole mission is getting healthy foods to the communities that need them. Right now, actually, I'm delivering the produce that I have to the Echo Free Clinic, which is where a lot of the medical students go and volunteer their time on Saturdays as well. And so hopefully some of the patients that are there that usually come, from hardworking, low-income families can get some fresh produce for free.
Okay, everyone, we're gonna start. We are a free clinic. We provide a transition to care model where we see patients for either 2 or 4 visits, and that allows us more visits to kind of try to get things under control before we transition them to hopefully our full-time weekday clinic, which runs out of the same buildings. We are often people's first doctor that they've seen in decades, so it's a really important first line kind of getting things under control. Often that means that they'll have 10 unmanaged problems, and it's really challenging, but just recognize that this is the only care people get, and often the first care people get in a really long time.
A patient just called asking for a refill on their meds.
Are you sure they're a free clinic patient?
Not a Walton patient.
Oh, I can go look that up.
You did. Why don't you check that first? And if they're free clinic, let me look. We have a huge amount of students who are choosing, as I did, to volunteer here. And many people who end up in medicine, actually most people end up in medicine, are fairly privileged, have had more limited life experiences, and are going to go into a more narrow, higher money making field. And many are surprised. They've never imagined how someone who's working maybe more than a full-time job can have no access to insurance, can't possibly afford to buy medication. I don't think we should be having to rely on a free clinic that I've been able to work at for 22 years. That makes no sense. Why is that our system? But I wouldn't keep doing this work if I didn't think we could change it. And that the students who are here feel like we can do this differently.
Hi, Gertrude. Okay, so you're, I'm told that you were having some pain in your back.
Yeah.
Let me take a look at your back. Come sit over here. So where are you from? I hear some, a little patois from.
I'm from Ghana.
You're from Ghana?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Ever see that?
No.
Feel the cockatoos? No. Okay.
What does the crepitus feel like? The crepitus, how does it feel?
Put your hand here.
Oh.
Feel it crunching?
Mm-hmm.
All right. She's got damage to the cartilage. And that's osteoarthritis.
Okay.
Feel that. Normally it shouldn't.
You shouldn't have that crunching. So it's on both then?
Yeah, you've got bilateral.
I was hellbound on becoming a doctor since about my freshman year of high school. I think it's a privilege to be a doctor, and I think it's even more a privilege to be a Black doctor. I think a lot of people from my background don't see medicine as an option, or they probably don't see people that look like them in those spaces, and it can be very daunting for them. And I think I've been very fortunate having people help me kind of find a way to succeed. But I do understand that I have a lot to learn.
Hi. Taking a walk?
Yeah.
I know, sometimes it takes a little bit. Good. Your lungs sound good to me. Okay, I'm gonna have you stare straight ahead. I started volunteering at the Echo Clinic my first and second years. We didn't have the medical background yet to actually do the, history, physical, the medical side of it, but we would try to do more of the social side of it. And now I'm doing the thing that I signed up for, finally. First 2 years, all about book learning, lectures, that sort of thing. And then third year is about rotations and actually being in the hospital and applying it, seeing patients. So I started with psychiatry and neurology, and then I did medicine, and then I had surgery. It's a whole new way of thinking, this whole new language, trying to become fluent in something that, you haven't really gotten nearly enough exposure to. And it was hard. I really felt like a dumbass every single day. I'm gonna bend your legs, okay? Let me know if it hurts. But I have emergency medicine coming up, which is great. I like procedures, I like fast pace, I like variety, dealing with every single kind of person, but I'm very excited to get to rotate in it. Okay, good. All right.
So Lauren, we're getting ready to go back into clerkships. What are you going into? Family med. Brian and Charlie, getting ready to go back into clerkships. Are you excited?
Totally.
What are you going into?
Surgery.
Woo!
Yay.
Good dive. Ben, we're getting ready to go back into clerkships. What are you going into?
Peds.
Are you excited?
Yes. Love the kids. Love the kids.
Christine, we're going back into clerkships. What are you going into?
Internal medicine.
Are you excited?
Oh.
You're so cute. Excited for medicine ever. This year, I knew it was going to be tough taking on this new role, introducing myself as student doctor. We still have exams, so still studying, trying to find time at the end of the workday to study, which is very different than the first 2 years. But for me, it's more fun, because I'm actually getting to practice things. I am 90% sure that I want to go into pediatric neurology. But my next block is my OB-GYN rotation, which, full disclosure, I'm a little worried about.
Hi, Dr. Simmons. Hi, nice to meet you. Is this your first rotation with OB/GYN? Okay, great. I like to try to give you a little bit of my philosophy on how to care for patients. You have to think about how populations have been marginalized and how the communication has occurred in the past and how much work we have to do to really improve the communication between the doctor and patient. The outcomes for people of color just in general with healthcare are significantly worse. But I have found that patients tend to follow if I have a good relationship with them. And that starts from the first encounter with the patient. I don't know if you reviewed the charts yet, but my first patient prior to pregnancy, she had some difficulties. Patient's 36 weeks, but the baby's breech position.
Hi, Ms. Ramirez. My name's Corey. I'm the medical student working with Dr. Simmons today. Is it okay if we chat a little bit? So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think last time they checked on baby, she was breech. Her feet were down? Okay. And you have an ultrasound later today?
Yes.
Okay. So has Dr. Simmons talked with you about different options if Annabella's still feet first?
Might be a C-section.
Okay. All right. How are you feeling about that? About the possibility of a C-section?
Yeah, it's what it is.
Yeah, there you go. So if I'm just gonna let Corey feel. So you're trying to feel for the head in here. So, I'm right-handed, so your thumb and your second finger. And you put your other hand here. And you're trying to determine if it's the head or not. And I know it's hard to feel. But when I was feeling, it seems like this is wide. This is probably the baby's bottom. This is the back here, and these are probably the legs here. So let's get the Doppler. Might be head down. That's maternal. I'll try on this side. I just checked her pulse. There we go. I'm hopeful that we're head down.
Me too.
Okay, sounds good. Once I get some help here. Here.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Ooh. Once I get the report from the ultrasound, then I'll call you, and then we'll determine if we need to schedule a C-section. If we need to schedule a C-section, even on the day of C-section, if the baby's head is down, then we can change the decision and we'll go for an induction, okay?
I thought I was going to hate this rotation. I had no interest in OBGYN. I did not want to stare at vaginas all day. I was very much opposed to it. And I have been so surprised. I have really kind of had to walk that back and really rethink it. I know we need more Black women in OBGYN, so I'm not going to rule it out completely.
Oh, Thank you. No problem. Let's see.
Do I like it enough to go into OBGYN? I don't know.
Comparative, isn't that?
That's yeah, comparative leads me to think linkage analysis, right? But, oh, no. I feel like I should know these. I'll be the first doctor in my family. It was definitely a challenge to get in medical school. It was years of work, you could say even before college. How long is it going on for? I'm participating in the U.S. Army Health Professions Scholarship Program. Over the next 4 years, they will be paying for my entire medical school tuition. I will be receiving a monthly stipend for living expenses. I will have about 45 days out of the year where I'll be doing active duty trainings. Other than that, I'll be in the reserves for the next 4 years. And I will graduate as a U.S. Army physician. And you just have to, if you just go back and look at the scales that they were, if there's enough differences like in these variations, that's like, it'll be variant or something like that.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. No, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, God. 1 out of 5. Okay. That was a little scary getting 1 out of 5 the first time, but that's okay.
Financial burden is an issue getting into medicine. Tuition is a big thing. I mean, I'm very lucky in the sense that when I got into Einstein, I was offered a scholarship, and so that relieved a lot of stress in that scenario. But even with that, you know, tuition is still rising. It's $50,000 a year. And once you take out loans and you pay the school what you owed, whatever you get back to live off of could be less than $20,000 a year. You're still expected to, you know, pay rent, eat. I think it severely compromises the amount of diversity that we have within medicine. For most people, it doesn't seem worth it, or they just simply just don't know how they'd be able to manage it.
Thank you.
It's like the fee's supposed to be one way.
So this year I will be applying to radiology residency. Radiology is like a puzzle, like trying to piece together like what images you do have to try to find out what this patient is going through. It was like a game of Where's Waldo. I loved it. I'm still working on finishing up my personal statement. I'm struggling right now. Like, what picture do I choose? Like, being conscious of, oh, if I wear my curly afro, is that gonna prevent me from a school, like, looking at that picture, be like, oh, maybe we shouldn't interview this person. I don't want, like, my hair to be something that would stop me from getting interviews. But if a place that want to interview you because of your hair, then that's not a place you would want to be. A lot of people that look like me are the nurses in the hospital. Even now, like if I'm on rotations, like I'll get, oh, my nurse said this, and this after they had a conversation with me. Like, we're not expected to be the doctors. And I wanted to like push that boundary. Representation matters. It really matters. It's good. It's good stuff. Good stuff. More genuine smiles this time.
Day in the life, medicine clerkship. So that was me and Amy in the elevator. Now we're walking to the shuttle. It's like 6:10, dark, sad. Got to the hospital early, got some breakfast, and yeah. Then I had a Zoom in the afternoon, which was fun. Then I realized I had an assignment due next week that I forgot about, so I logged into Epic to check on my patients instead of doing actual studying. And here I am pretending to study, and while I study, I listen to Animal Crossing music. Do not judge me. And then Lauren, Isha, and I watched Hell's Kitchen because it was Thursday.
This location, 5 botanic outfits. Unfortunately, while exploring a cave, 2 of them are bitten by snakes. They take to a local emergency room, are treated with an anti-snake venom that contains horse soup. They both recover rapidly and go home. 1 week later, both of them develop.
It's been about a month, I feel like, since the start of, is it a month or is it 2 months? I feel like, I don't even know. I can't keep track anymore. It's just like time is flying by, honestly. A month and a half, I'm gonna say. I think it's been a month and a half since the start, but yes, don't quote me on that. So.
One thing I did hear before starting medical school, you have to learn how to learn. And I also learned you have to learn how to adjust, being uncomfortable.
I used to go to lectures at the beginning, like the first week, not so much the second week, and then afterwards I stopped going to lecture, just because watching lectures at 2 times speed is basically just reducing my workload by half. I've always like heard that it's gonna be super hard. But I thought I would have it like, oh, I went to a hard school in undergrad, I'll have it managed. People are like over dramatizing it or like it's exaggerated, but it was actually that. It was like really a lot of stuff and I didn't anticipate it to be as hard as it is.
So Cameron, I want to go over the cervix anatomy here, right? It'll help you understand a little bit about where you are, et cetera. So right here is the confluence of the scapular spine and the back of your AC joint. You can feel a little spot there. Yeah. Right? And you can feel the clavicle right there. Yeah. Right. Stand the knife, please. And incision. That's our arthroscope. And once we look at the screen, we know we're in because we see the little blood vessels. Let's get the arm down a little bit. And we can turn the optics on the camera and look in different directions. Not even moving our hand, we can just kind of scoot around and turn. So a lot of degenerative fraying at the periphery of the labrum. You know, we don't know if it's frankly torn just yet. We haven't kind of gotten a great look at it yet.
It's been great to get in the hospital and really take all of that 2 years of knowledge that was put in my head and actually use it.
So we're just going to gently kind of, all right, so there's some issue with the back of the labrum, so we've got to take, I think, a closer look at that. And then a little look at the front of the labrum. So I'm going to have you hold this again, Kim. And we're going to start taking some pictures. So you can take
I like the hands-on aspect of it. As a child, my dad, anything that needs to be fixed, he wanted to teach me. So I feel like my orthopedics didn't start a few weeks ago. I feel like it started in my childhood when my dad would hand me a drill and tell me, you know, all right, this is what you got to do to hold it steady. Just teach me like little techniques like that.
Good. Good going. That's it. No, you're down.
Okay. Can we get the key? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Flush with the green.
Hit it a little harder, please. There you go. Good. Let's get the suture out.
Hey.
Hey, Dr. Van.
All right, Andrew. How's it going?
Good to see you.
Good to see you. It's been a minute.
been a long
How's it
time.
going?
Dr. Pang is a long-term mentor of mine. He kind of really just showed me what it means to not only be a physician, just be an advocate for the community. And I really aspire to be like him.
So how's it been this year so far?
It's been good. It's been good. It's been tough.
How diverse is your class? Like, what's the breakdown?
It's about 66% female.
Okay.
And I think it's about 16% of people of color amongst the whole spectrum.
And then if you tease out blacks, how many would you?
That's a good question. I haven't thought of the specific number. In my class, 14, between 14 and 20, yes.
When I went to medical school, there were 5 black students.
Really?
Out of a class of 200.
Wow.
Yeah, so you have what, triple me maybe? But don't forget to pay it forward because, you know, pretty much, you know, if you look at the WMC numbers, you know, it's still, physician is really only 3% black males of the entire, you know, physician population in the United States. When I left medical school, it's probably 2. So we've gained 1% in, you know, practicing for almost 20 years. But I just can't wait for you to be done because I just think you're gonna be so amazing, not just because you're smart, but because you really care. The patient-doctor interaction is all about relationships. The other piece, the illness, you'll work those things out, but it's the relationship, I think, that keeps the whole thing going.
I don't think you need to like rely on this, but you have it just in case.
Just the background. Okay.
Yeah.
He's in this room?
Yeah, he's in his room. We'll ask him.
It's nerve-wracking.
Huh?
Nervous. It's fine.
Oh, what are you nervous for?
Just in general. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. It's gonna be fine.
This is Andrew. He's a first-year medical student.
Hello.
How are you? Is that okay if he comes and asks you questions about your history? Yeah. Yeah.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling okay.
So can you tell me a little bit more about, you know, what brought you to Burke?
I had got shot.
Okay. Was it like to the right? It was the right side?
My right side, and then it bounced. It hit my spinal cord.
Okay.
And it bursted below my L1.
Okay.
So they said I ain't got no feelings in my legs, but I can get it back. So that's like my goal is for me to walk to my daughter and pick her up. And that got me like a little depressed because I'm not gonna be there for my baby's birthday. But it's like I'm gonna be there afterwards. Then hopefully by then I can walk to her, pick her up, surprise her, you know. Other than that, like that's my main focus right now.
How has the pain been?
It's off and on.
Now? Off and on?
Yeah, like when I go to sleep, my back stiffens up.
Okay.
So when I wake up, it's like I'm locked in one position. Trying to figure out, like the end of the summer, by then I should have control on how I pee, how I doodle, when I don't have to depend on me putting my finger in my butt to doodle. But my main focus is for me to catch an erection. That's basically it.
Okay. In terms, think. Is there anything else I wanted to ask you in terms of? So you're saying pain, it ranges. Like, is there a general? If you had to say between 0 and 10, on average, do you have
a 7?
It's usually a 7.
They got medication like oxys and all that, Then they switched me off of that, was giving me morphine. Then I stopped them from giving me all that. Because it's like, I'm gonna do this myself.
I appreciate you giving me some time to speak with you and a little bit learn more about your story.
No
and I wish you
problem.
absolute best in your recovery.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I've had some shifts for the last 2 weeks in the emergency department. It's been really, really great, like very hands-on, one of the most involved rotations, I think. I think a lot of people think emergency medicine is constantly exciting, but a lot of it is patients who are presenting with this problem or that problem, but really underneath that is a desire for somewhere to sleep for the night, or for food, or for medications. I'm seeing like how a lot of these, you know, chronic medical conditions and also just like societal issues come to an acute presentation in the emergency department. So you kind of see a lot of these kinds of things, and to me that's very interesting. I think emergency medicine isn't just medicine, it's also social medicine, it's public health, it's global health, it's so many other things.
All right. What are the first words that come to your mind when you think opioid addiction? Try to challenge yourself to put in one word and just see how it compares to everyone else's words. So, the words epidemic, pain, fentanyl, methadone, stigma, Narcan, those are the biggest words I see. That's great because you guys are already way more attuned to this than the rest of the general public. But there are a lot of words on there I see, such as trauma, dead, difficult, dangerous. I really hope that by the end of today, you have some tools to go with those scary sounding words. We want you to know what is affecting our neighborhoods. Because in all of New York City, top 4 neighborhoods every single year that have the highest rates of overdose are all in the Bronx. 1 person died of a drug overdose every 3 hours. Can you imagine that? But terribly, that is ridiculous, right? In what world are we okay with that?
Could you bridge someone from like methadone to buprenorphine, or like vice versa? Like, let's say someone can't go every single day, like it's just not feasible for them, and you want to take them, switch them to something more convenient.
Yes, that's a great question. You diagnose the patient and you know they're uncomfortable and you want to offer treatment. This is what we're trying to tell you to do because your attendings might not be the ones who are ready to do that.
You guys might be more ready than your
So you guys are already like, how do I offer it? How do I offer it? Your attendee is like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're drug seeking. Maybe they're malingering. Maybe they're up to no good.
Yeah.
That is the typically what is happening in the hospital. But hopefully you're going to be training at a hospital where hospital protocols are available. We're just showing you cross the first hurdle, make the correct diagnosis, and recognize you can offer treatment.
Dios Todopoderoso, en el nombre de Jesucristo, tu Hijo, te pido que ayudes a Alexandra Pérez en su examen para entrar a la Escuela de Medicina de Albert Einstein. Amén. Alex, oh, mami, stress. I said, no worry. The petition is here. Everything you ask in the name of Jesus is going to be done. And it was right. You were right. You predicted.
She predicted.
She entered existence.
Yes.
I love how she was very direct, like
About this
particular school.
This school.
So, like, when do you officially become, like, doctor? Or, like, when does that title?
So you officially become doctor after you graduate med school. So when I graduate, I'll be a doctor. I'll be like, my name's Dr. Perez. You know what I mean?
How many you apply? How many?
I applied to 20 programs.
20?
Yeah. Some people apply to more. Like family medicine is considered not a competitive specialty. So like some people will apply to like 50 programs, 100 programs. You have to pay for every
Not for me.
So yeah, obviously it becomes prohibitive for a lot of people.
So at what point did you say, I want to be a doctor?
I was kind of just like in the line of thinking of, there was a lot of people who won't do what they want to do because their health isn't taken care of. but people trust doctors with the most private parts of their life, you know what I mean? Like there'll be somebody who's being abused at home and won't tell anybody, but you know, a doctor might be the person who notices it when you're doing an exam, or can get them the resources that they need. That can change somebody's life, 100%.
Each rotation that we have, we're in a different specialty. And at the end of the 6-week rotation, we take a big exam on all the different topics from that specialty. So tomorrow, I show what I've learned about little kids.
It's 110 questions per shelf exam. 90 seconds per question, 110 questions. So gotta know your stuff.
With rotations, you kind of have to put everything else on hold. There's so much information to learn. And there's just like kind of this guilt whenever you're doing something. It's like, oh, I should be studying right now. Oh God, I haven't done nearly enough practice questions. I have not learned about all these random disorders. I need to like go into crunch time. I would say like 5 hours a day. Maybe after going to work at the hospital.
I'll put in anywhere between like 6 to 10 or 12, just depending on how much time I have.
Not that all of that is productive. A lot of it is me taking snack breaks or stretching breaks or like not crying breaks. I keep saying I cry. I actually haven't cried at all this rotation, but spiritually crying a little bit.
Hello, it's Misery. So yesterday I was having my meltdown. I literally was like, I could have gone into consulting. Like I literally had this moment where I was like, I really, truly wish that I had gone into consulting and like was on vacation right now, making 6 figures, living my best life. Yeah. I went from 87% correct to 37 on this exam.
You're not studying and learning less. That's not how it works. It's just like sometimes one test will happen to ask you about like every area that you have a gap, but then you learn all those things and you move on.
I guess.
It'll be fine.
I am so dehydrated because of how much I cried yesterday and a little bit this morning.
Yeah.
So I'll just like run down. I'm like, nope, just keep going. It'll pass. It'll pass, you know? This too shall pass. I don't know if I will.
I think you will pass, and this will pass.
2 weeks. 2
weeks. Not being a med student right now. Cheers.
It feels like you should always be doing something productive for your future in medical school. It's really tough to feel this like guilt that you're not doing what you should be doing.
All right, we're at the botanical gardens now. Seems like a nice place. I don't like the gardens too much, but here's nature.
Medical school is a huge undertaking, and it may mean having to temporarily sacrifice some of the more, like, I don't know, like unruly, spontaneous parts of yourself to achieve what needs to be achieved in order to save people's lives.
Oh, you're the it's a video.
It's a video. It's never not gonna be that there's something productive you could be doing instead. Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Yo, just finished that exam. Got a nice workout in after.
If you keep putting off your peace of mind and your life till there's no pressure, you'll never have it. So you have to learn how to have peace of mind and live your life regardless.
right here. And everybody in the building knows how I feel about her. God bless LaShawna as she prepares to make her decision about what she's going to do next in the field of medicine.
It was important for me to go to school in the Bronx just because most of my family is still here. But I personally don't want to stay in New York City. I grew up in a rough neighborhood, and I'm just like over the city life. It's just too much going on, and it's not a place that I really want to raise my kids. I just felt like it's easy for them to get caught up in like my family's history or whatever. So this is the park I grew up in. I learned how to play basketball here, climb trees, climb gates. This is the sprinkler. We'd cut this water on and we'd have water fights here, cut this hydrant on.
This is the building I grew up in. This is where I moved to, right here, 104. And this is where their father actually got killed, right here. That store right there, their grandfather got killed when their father was small. When they were small, their father got killed right here. This is the spot where he fell, right here. A guy that he knew said, homeboy, let me talk to you for a minute. They was talking right here, da-da-da. I see my baby daddy their father walk away. The guy pulled out the gun. He tried to hit him, but the first bullet, like, put him down. So he fell right here and got killed.
I was 7.
7.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I heard the gunshots. I was upstairs on the 5th floor.
Yeah, she was up that apartment right there, up on the 5th floor. Yeah, we got a lot of death, y'all. It's just sad.
Rapid response, room 312. Rapid response, room 312.
Sir, can you hear us?
What's the patient's name?
He's Tom. Yeah, so he's just not acting right.
What do you mean by
Sir,
that?
can you hear us?
Oh, he's moaning.
He's moaning.
Can we listen to breath sounds?
Yeah.
Can you feel this?
Do you want me to give the morning meds?
What are his morning meds?
Insulin, Lantus.
Can we
Should we shop Russians? Len? All right.
He needs something hard underneath him.
Go. Okay.
Okay. Lay back now.
Hey, his niece is downstairs in the lobby. She'd like to come up.
Tell her not.
Not right now.
Do you want any labs?
Yes, please. Yeah. Can you get an EBG?
Okay. Test rise.
What else we want?
CBC, CMP, understood glucose.
Yeah. Your blood gas will be back in a minute. So we're gonna stop here.
Sure.
So how we do?
He didn't die.
We did our best. We did our best.
But you brought him back. That's
Yeah.
good. Now, while the code is going on, you did not let the family member come up. Would anybody argue that you should have let the family member come up?
To like ask what their like wishes were, if they were like, if they knew if their uncle was like DNR or DNI.
Okay, that should be in the chart, but absolutely getting to know what the patient's goals of care are, very, very important. So when I'm in the ICU and we're running a code, I'm always at the foot of the bed, right? Right next to me is a family member. Why do I keep the family member there? Because I want them to see that we are doing everything humanly possible for their loved ones. Who are they going to believe more? You or the family member that was here? If you go outside, we did everything we possibly could. Oh, doc, you just retired, didn't want to do anything. Or they're going to believe the family member that was here and says, oh, no, they worked their tail off. And they tried.
Because
This is great.
explains so much.
Where's the bangle?
I love it. I love it.
Look at her face.
I was really into it. I had a lot of emotional depth as a 3-year-old.
theater.
Medicine had always been something that was kind of in the back of my mind growing up. You kind of can't help but get interested when you grow up seeing pictures of your brain all the time. When I was 3 years old, I started having these kind of weird vision changes, and nobody knew where they were coming from. You know, the pediatrician, we went to, the ophthalmologist, nobody knew. So I got an MRI, and they found a pineal cyst. By the grace of God, it was something that was benign. Throughout, the years between 3 and 7, it was something I'd go get an MRI every year just to check on it, make sure it wasn't growing. And then when I was 7, all of a sudden I got these really, really intense headaches. Long story short, I had developed hydrocephalus. Basically, it was a whole bunch of fluid that had accumulated in my brain. And that fluid was putting so much pressure on my brain, it's where the headaches were coming from, that had actually started to make my eye turn it.
There was never a doubt that she was going to be fine. There was never. This child had stuff to do in her life. Did she tell you how we even got there with the monitoring her of this? They sit us down, they say, well, we have to do surgery. And we're like, okay, well, this is some serious real estate here. We want a second opinion. And they looked at each other and they looked back at us, and he says, perhaps I'm not explaining myself. Your daughter will die within 24 hours if we don't drain this fluid from her brain. So, then Frederick and I were like, oh, by all means, do what you need to do,
We know how to talk to people, and we have or had the right people in place who would push for us if there was a need as well. So no, we weren't afraid of not getting what we wanted. We have education. We know we can ask questions. And I think that helps a lot in situations when you don't have the background, the experience to delve into why things need to happen, how they're going to happen, then you do become a victim in some circumstances because you don't think you have the ability to fight back.
Just finished a labor and delivery shift. Thought I'd reflect on my day. It's quite chaotic. It started off with one attendant making another attendant cry, and then me scrubbing into a C-section right after. Basically, what happened with the debacle between attendings was that the one who was working and signing out the patient had decided to kind of let the patient have natural delivery by, just like let the labor progress. Whereas the other attending was like, why would you do that? Like the patient, you should just do a C-section, get it out. It just made me wonder, because as we were all kind of prepping the patient to go into surgery, all the nurses were kind of sad, and I asked why, and they were like, this person shouldn't have to have a C-section if she wanted to deliver vaginally, and definitely made me reflect on some practices in medicine, how we can make that better, and where the problems lie too. Yeah. What a day. Now, time to sleep.
My family definitely influenced me on the path to go to medical school. When I was 3 years old, my father passed away on 9/11. He was a firefighter. That's really the stem of a lot of what my values are today. But I grew up surrounded by this idea of, what it meant to be a hero and to live a life of honor and sacrifice and service. I really couldn't think of any other way of how to live by just figuring out how to do something as honorable as what all those men and women did on that day. I didn't necessarily want to do the same exact thing. I just wanted to do something that was also honorable.
What are you gonna do? You need to get down into what? Prone. Get down. All right. You hear casualties in the distance asking for help, and they're U.S. military. 4 casualties to your left. 1 student per casualty. Move.
Yeah, right here.
Move.
Sir, right there.
Right leg, sir?
Right leg, sir. X marks the spot.
All right, first thing, you expose the injury. Injury's already exposed. Start applying the tourniquet. Medicine seemed like the perfect solution for how I wanted to accomplish my mission to change lives for the better. The healthcare system in this country right now definitely, I think, needs a lot of work. And I think a lot of students my age are realizing that. We have to learn kind of how to tackle those issues at its source, really experiencing firsthand and learning firsthand what exactly needs to be done.
Where is your list on this thing?
It's one of those little tabs.
The whole thing or just that tab?
That tab is fine.
All right, so what am I looking at? And this is how you're ranking the residency program.
Yes, the actual radiology program.
And this is where I feel like I shouldn't have any say at all because.
But that's not true because
I'm not dealing with any of this stuff.
I already established that Duke is.
We did establish that.
I like the communication I'm having with them. They're looking out for me. And then I also really like Hopkins.
You like Hopkins, but do you like Baltimore?
I don't hate Fells Point. I don't.
That's like saying I love Central Park, but I hate Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I understand that. That's fair. But I do think I could tough it out for the program.
for 4, 5, 6 years.
Yes. I think if I land at any of my top 6, I would be fine. It's just from 7, you start getting into the New York category.
Yeah.
And that's why, like I said, this is kind of fluid, based on where you want to live. Because I liked all these programs almost equally.
I'm cool with this.
I'm also not opposed to this.
Stay. Go. Go, Papa, go, go, go. I'm engaged. His name is Malik. We met in high school. We've been living out in the Einstein apartments for a couple of years now, since I started here. I don't know if I would have gotten through it without him. So I am packing the last of our stuff because we're moving off campus. So we're actually moving with Malik's grandmother. We're still going to be in the Bronx, a little more uptown. This year I turned 26. I was on my mother's health insurance. But when you turn 26, you have until the end of that month to find new insurance because you don't have insurance anymore. The cheapest plan had monthly payments of like $500 to $600, and then the deductible, God forbid anything happened to you, was like $7,000. I was like, there's absolutely no way a medical student who does not get paid can afford that. What a lot of people end up doing is not getting health insurance. They just don't go to their doctor because if I have to choose between having food on the table versus the potential of something happening and needing to get health insurance. That's a no-brainer for most people. I'm choosing the place where I know where I'm going to sleep and that my kids are fed.
Back in undergrad, when I used to work in a clinic, and I was in a more rural area of Georgia, so they were usually not used to white people, to be honest. So they're always like, "Oh, well, your accent is like different. Where is it from?" And then I tell them, "Oh, I'm like from Syria." So never like a bad reaction from anyone. I think I used to be like more annoyed by it when people like mispronounce my name or like they're like, "Oh, it's different" and stuff. But like now I think I embrace the uniqueness of it. Like I like people asking about it, even if it like people are like misspelling it or like mispronounce it. I get Garth. I get sometimes they don't even hear the TH, they're just gay. No one ever says Ghaith, which is like the actual pronunciation.
Hello, how are you today? Morning. I have a first-year medical student with me today from Einstein. Great. All right. Any chest pains, chest heaviness, chest squeezing?
Nope, nope.
Good.
Had a little issue with that beginning of January because I had COVID.
Okay.
Fully vaccinated.
Yeah,
boosted.
exactly, and that's why you did fine.
After seeing tracked refrigerated trailers
exactly.
outside of hospitals during the height in 20 and 21.
Right.
It's the last thing I wanted to go through.
Exactly, but you'd be surprised, even in Westchester County, there are people who have never taken one vaccine. Okay, guy who's going to listen with me to your back and your chest, okay?
All right, give it a shot.
Some deep breaths. Deep breath. Deep breath. Good. Let him.
I always wanted to go into the cardiology field, and I think following Dr. Charney only, like, I think made me want to do it more.
In and out. One more time.
Patient interactions, that was a little bit of a new thing for me.
The other side.
While I definitely am empathetic, it's something new to me to like show these emotions. My mom and dad do that very like seamlessly, and like I never thought about that cognitively. I was like, yeah, they like actually like try to do that. I thought that was just part of their character.
Again, his cardiac and lung exam is normal. As you're aware, most people have something by the time they reach 75, you know?
They gotta get to 75 first.
Right, exactly, you know, but
I don't know most things or almost everything about like medicine, right? So, but it's mostly going through those motions, knowing how to interact with the patient. And I think that's the most important part.
So everything looks fine, all good news.
You definitely can be a better doctor by improving those skills. You're able to better treat the patient, I feel like, and get a more holistic view of, okay, that it's not just this problem. There's other things going on in his life, and that's the patients usually open up when they can trust you more than you feel like they have a better relation with you.
Had to wash the awfulness of today off of me before talking about it. But it's a day of low lows and minuscule highs. So we had a 20-something-year-old come to the ED in cardiac arrest. Everyone was running around trying to save this person's life and push medicines and, you know, this and that. And as a student, my role would have been to do chest compressions, but that job was already taken. So I was just kind of standing to the side and watching the life and death chaos go on before me. At some point, I turned around and I made eye contact with this woman who's standing right outside the room, and she looked absolutely horrified. And I guess that it was maybe a family member of this person who's only like 24. Anyway, after some time, they had to call it. They had to call the time of death. And like I've seen people die before, and it wasn't
So I wasn't spiraling. I was just sorry and somber that a life had been lost. But as when I left the room, and right outside the room, I saw the older woman who, you know, she was speaking in Spanish and trying to get into the room, and she looked so frantic. All I could see was like this hope that what had already happened, what I knew was already done, wasn't the case, and their hopes were just completely in vain because we had already pronounced him dead. It made me realize that it's important as a student to just go through those phases of hardening myself to it all, because you can't just jump right to being that compassionate, detached physician persona who sees suffering and loss and is able to detach in a form that allows them to keep doing their job. You have to feel your way through it, and you have to be sad, and you have to step outside and cry for 20 minutes and call your mom and feel that before you can be able to be the doctor who saves lives and sees the loss of life without feeling it in there.
Hello. How are you? Oh, you're trying to tell me how to find a vein?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's so cool. So which one do we use? Using the red one, right? So you have it. You listen to her. Which one yours? I'll put on for you. So we're here in Brooklyn, my hometown, trying to work with third graders, fourth graders, fifth graders. It's really inspiring. Okay. Talking about mentorship makes me think about how there are countless times that I was shy or very confused, or just very nervous. And seeing third graders, fourth graders, fifth graders in this fashion really motivated me to think about me when I was just trying to find out what I had to do.
Around this whole container?
No one can truly do things on their own. So I personally want to make sure that I mentor, because if Dr. Payne didn't mentor me, where would I be? Thank you, man. I'll see you soon, all right?
Hi. Hi, guys.
Hello.
How are you? Hi, Gia. I'm Dr. Patel.
My name's Corey. I'm a medical student. It's nice to meet you. How you doing?
Good.
Is this Mom?
Yes.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Corey. So, I heard it was your birthday tomorrow. How old are you turning?
10.
That is fantastic. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at your eyes. So we talked about how the medicine sometimes can give you blurry vision. It can also make your eyes do this weird like shake thing sometimes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at your eyes and we're gonna look to see if that's happening. It's been such a long journey for me with a lot of ups and downs. And this year, including today, it's been the first time that I see what my life could look like beyond this part of the journey. So you're going to like a brand new school and everything?
Yeah.
You excited?
Yeah.
Getting to spend time in the pediatric neurology clinic helps me to think about the big picture and kind of less about all of the different things that I have to jump through and get over to get there. It's like a reminder of what this is all for. You're helping me learn. Thank you so much.
Hello. Me llamo Chaitali. Soy estudiante de medicina. Just to start off, confirming a few things. Do you have insurance right now?
¿Y tiene seguro de test?
Okay. I see in the chart it says you're here for an STD.
So why do you think you have an STD?
No, I wanted to get tested because we want to have a baby and we are trying to we use protection now.
Okay.
So we don't want to use protection no more. So I want to make sure that he's safe because I know I'm safe.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you have any medical problems?
Entonces vamos a empezar con la historia general.
No.
And I'm actually gonna have. Do you mind stepping out for the rest of this interview? Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody.
No, it's definitely.
He said he wants to stay.
He wants you to stay? Oh, okay. All right. Now I'm just going to ask you some questions about you as a person and your life. You can answer as much or as little as you'd like, okay? Durante las últimas 2 semanas, ¿qué tan seguido ha tenido molestias debido a los siguientes problemas? ¿Se ha sentido nervioso, ansioso o con los nervios de punta?
A veces.
¿Cuántos días por semana? Do you understand me?
¿Le entiende ella?
Un poco.
Okay, we'll go back to using the translator. Okay, so how many days a week have you been feeling like you can't stop or control your worrying?
¿Cuántos días a la semana se ha sentido que no puede controlar su preocupación?
Okay. How many days do you feel worried too much about different things?
¿Cuántos días se siente preocupado sobre diferentes cosas?
¿Cuántos días?
Are you okay?
¿Tú estás bien? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Estás nervioso? ¿Tú entiendes la pregunta o no?
Sí, entiendo la pregunta.
Pero tú estás nervioso, ¿por qué? ¿Por mí?
Why don't we chat?
¿Me puede dar un momento?
What did he say?
Yes, sí.
Why don't we?
Perdón, sorry.
It's okay. Do you ever feel afraid that something awful might happen?
¿Alguna vez tiene temor que algo malo va a pasar?
Sí.
So we ask these questions because we want to screen patients for mental health conditions that we can help with and provide support for. Would you be interested in getting a referral for those services like counseling or therapy? Things like that?
¿Le interesa recibir una referencia, algún ayuda así, sea la terapia?
Sí, me gustaría.
Yeah, I would like that.
Great, okay.
All right, Doc, you ready? Good. Okay, you're doing great. Say yes. All right, Doctor, you're all done.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, painless. One last one. Fantastic. You did great.
Thank you. That's it?
That's it.
Woo, gosh, sweating bullets.
It's crazy because today is your day, but I kind of feel nervous too. Like I'm about to go do something.
Everybody put their professional headshots. I put a fun picture.
Everybody's getting ready to get tore down if I ain't see my damn baby up there. Oh, okay.
Me and Hadley, and actually Alex too. Alex,
Oh, that's- yeah,
these are who I'm gonna be sitting next to. All cool people. So my plan for match day is to have my mom and boyfriend open up the envelope, and if my results is in my top 3, I'm gonna go back to my apartment with the rest of my family, and just like with signing day with high school student athletes, I'm gonna pick a hat of which program I actually end up at.
Oh, here I am.
Altagracia Perez.
I know. Want to get
Yo, why you look 12 and a half here?
This was my close ceremony, so this was literally 4 years ago. Should I take a picture with my picture? Is that weird?
Oh, that's fire.
Students, if you could do me a favor, let's start making ourselves over to the rock for your class of 2023 match day photo.
Minus 3 minutes, guys. Be ready to be excited. It's gonna be challenging, but I want to hear y'all through the phone.
Excuse me. Excuse me, excuse me. Excuse me, excuse me. Elemental P. I'm over here.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get it, guys.
I cannot do this. You ready, Shauna? I had to fix my mic. You ready?
The moment of truth.
Montefiore.
Let's go, Cookie. Let me see. Congratulations, my love. Monty Doctor. Monty Doctor. You did it, babe. Oh my God. Yo, she did it, guys. Alta Gracia Perez.
You just gotta tell me if it's my top 3.
Come on.
What am I looking at?
Top 3.
Top 3? Matt. Don't say it, Ma. Don't say it.
Top 3.
Top 3, I'll take
Top
top
3.
3. I take it.
I need to call Mommy. I'm gonna call you back. Hi, Sonny.
We staying in the Bronx, baby.
Oh, hold on. I can't even function right now. Hi, Ma. Look, Ma.
She's a homegrown hero to me. I used to see her name on the bulletin board. They used to do gold. So like I was finally able to get myself on the bronze. But I'm like, who is this girl that's always on the top? The highest accumulated GPA. I just saw how like dedicated she was to everything she put her mind to. In the Bronx, the biggest disparity is people outside the Bronx don't understand us the same way that she can. Having that inside context and understanding what the fears that go along with medical care, she'll be able to bridge that gap in a way that a lot of others won't be able to.
You good?
I like that one.
Are y'all ready?
Yeah, we ready.
Hey, I'm gonna let y'all know. Let's go.
I said they all wanted you. Let's go.
She cried balling. Y'all want to take pictures? You gonna cry?
She's slobbing and everything.
So today I matched at my #1 prelim program and my #1 residency program, which is both Duke. So we're moving to Durham, North Carolina this summer. It's just cool to think of where I came from to get to the point that I am now. College was a grind, and applying to med school was a grind, and figuring out, like, I applied to so many, over maybe 60 schools, and only got 4 interviews for medical school, and got accepted into 3 out of the 4 of those, and ended up here. And it's just crazy to think that all these programs that didn't even give me a look for interviews for coming to med school was welcoming me with open arms after medical school and trying to apply to residency. Ma, this is the program director of Duke. They FaceTime me. Like, Happy seeing you. This my mom. This my sister, nieces. Y'all better take care of my baby. This is my other sister. Hi, thank you so much. Bye-bye. That was mad dope.
You had all the cards stacked against you. Like, you could have stopped at any point. Everyone would be like, yeah, I get it. But, like, you persevered through everything and did well at it, too. It's not like you just made it. Like, you did well.
She had the toy one, so I told her I had a real one. You got to push down harder.
You smiling, too. That's a heavy heart. You got to go hard like you're going. A happy heart.
You got a happy heart? Charles.
Oh, look who's leaving me.
Yeah. Not for good. Not for good just yet. You got me for another 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Gather up the brokenness and bring it to me now. The fragrance of those promises you never dared to vow. The splinters that you carry, cross you left behind. Come healing of the body, come healing of the mind.
It's my Olive. She's the only person I know that said, when I grow up, I want to be X, Y, Z, and she did it. So, yes.
Come healing of the reason, come healing of the heart.
Dr. Fennessy. So the plan is to probably get you home today. If the pain is pretty controlled, then you're comfortable with going home. And hopefully we'll get you out of here today, okay?
Señor Colón.
Hello.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Soy doctora Pérez.
Oh, see the darkness yielding, that tore the light apart. Come healing of the reason, come healing of the heart.
I'm happy to share with you that starting in August this year, the Albert Einstein College of Medicine will be tuition-free.
Oh, solitude of a longing, where love has been confined. Come healing of the body, come healing of the mind. Oh, longing of the branches to lift the little bud. Oh, longing of the arteries to purify the blood. And let the heavens hear it, the penitential hymn. Come healing of the spirit, come healing of the limb.
My bad. I'm so- Listen, I'm so emotional. I can't even get the thoughts together because I'm like, who crying? I saw you shed a tear because listen, I'm all over here in my own feelings. Hey, Deshari.
Hey,
How are
hey,
you?
I'm
Oh,
Laurie.
I'm good. Try not to cry. Good gosh. I'm such a crybaby, like my family calls me. But anyways,
Well, it's a
that
beautiful
was
story.
it is. That was emotional at the end. Like, mm, mm. Listen. Okay. Okay, we got a lot to talk about. I hope that you enjoyed the film. If you have not, if you didn't get a chance to see it all, because I know it was quite lengthy and you probably have other things to do, PBS will air it in, well, next year, of course, in a few days, in 2026. So it will be on their apps and their streaming services, so you can go and view it there. Or if you just want to check out, share the tea and all the vibes, you can follow it on YouTube and all those good things. But it's phenomenal. And I really, 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 really enjoy just being able to view the students' backgrounds because it's different cultures and just seeing how um empowering they are. Like they're inspired to do something different because of where they come from or where, or because of what their family has been through. Ah, listen.
It's
Ah,
amazing. It's amazing to see because, we have a lot of different demographics when it comes to medicine. And it's not just a particular group of people who need to be highlighted. It is the Black, it is the brown people, it are the marginalized people who don't get the resources or attention that is needed. And so, watching this, excuse me for my voice, been a little bit underneath the weather, but it's okay. I said under the weather, I guess I should say. But but
you're coming from it. I got you.
I'm trying to get over the hump. But yes, the marginalized groups of people who don't get the attention that is needed. And so the watching those students' backgrounds and seeing how they progress through their first year, second year, third, we got to see all different phases of the medicine journey. And I thought that was super inspiring, especially looking into the lives of not only Black students, brown students, and those of who come from over the pond.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
So
Definitely, definitely. And just, because when he said that his parents had to go back, you
yeah.
know, um, it's like, oh goodness. And that has to be hard when you're still going through your medical journey here and now your parents are somewhere else. Everybody probably prefers for their parents to be close by,
Mhm.
just for the support. Whew, that was a lot. I don't think I was expecting that. You know how you really don't know what to expect, and so, yeah, I wasn't. I feel like I wasn't really expecting it to be that emotional for me. But I will say one thing that's really important that they all address multiple times is having a relationship with your patients.
Mhm.
That is something that is very, very important. We come from a culture or background of people that don't trust the doctors, and I'm speaking in regards to African Americans because I'm African American, but we come from a background of where we don't want to trust the doctors. We don't want to go to the doctor until it's the last minute or until we just can't take it anymore. Then we'll go. Um, but we have to be able to build that rapport with a doctor that we can trust, that we feel that's going to hear us. If
Mhm.
I'm explaining that I have pain or I'm explaining that there's an issue, to be able to trust what I'm saying and do the research to figure out what in the world is going on.
And that's
Yeah.
super important because it's not something that is uncommon, as we've seen in the news recently. A nurse, not taking proper precautions for someone who was going into labor. Like, it's not something that is should be swept under the rug, and it's something that does have to be mentioned over and over and over again because people don't understand the severity of different proximity. If you don't have proximity to it, sometimes you neglect the idea that you would eat, that would be something that someone would go through. And so that's why it's so important for us to be in these different spaces because the conversation is only going to be as vast as the people who are in the room, if that makes sense.
Mm. Yes, yes, that does make sense. So how do we get our community to trust doctors more. Is that the word I want to look for? Or to advocate for their health more? How do we get them to change that mindset? I know it takes a lot.
Yeah, I mean, trust is the right word because that's ultimately the problem that we're facing is that, trust isn't just the barrier of who the person is because there is one thing to say, okay, yeah, I trust what you're saying, but then it's the medicine that comes along with it. Is that going to navigate? So if you suggest me to a different person, because then we have to boil it down. So yes, there's general medicine, but then there's specific groups of medicine where you may have oncology, you may have GI tract, you may have diabetes. There's so many different people that are part of the team. And so in order to get people to trust, I think we have to be seen. We have to be understood. We have to It's a no like trust situation. You have to know a doctor for a period of time. So that's getting patients to come into the office regularly. You have to like that the medicine that they're giving to you is not just something to prevent it for a short period of time, but will give me a a piece of understanding, like, yeah, I can not have pain for months, okay, not just for the day. I don't want to
Right.
just be covered for the day. I want to be covered for months, hopefully years. Maybe I can be treated and not have to come back. But also that's a holistic approach. So we're talking about medical doctors. You also have DOs, which are the more holistic doctors. So that's the also the like factor. So you can range between whether you want to go to someone who is giving you more medicine based or more holistic based approaches. And then you have to trust that what their insight, their knowledge, their studies is going to provide you a lane to be treated in the best way possible.
Mm, mm. I like that. Now, I know I didn't give you a proper introduction. I'm sorry.
No,
Hey,
it's
y'all,
okay.
this is Tashari. I was in the midst of my trying to breathe and not shed a tear moment. So I apologize. I did not do my due diligence in introducing my girl, Dashari Miller. And she is a recent graduate of Morehouse. Yes. Now, hold on. I want you to tell them where you graduated from and just give us a little bit of what made you go into that field.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys a quick little bio. If you don't know who I am Dashari Miller. I grew up in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I went to Langston University for my undergraduate degree in biology. Like she just said, I recently graduated with a master's degree, excuse me, in biotechnology from Morehouse School of Medicine, where I am now transitioning into a career path of clinical research, hopefully navigating that to tick up, regulatory affairs, sales, things of that nature. Clinical research, well, biotechnology, let me backtrack, is a broad range where it incorporates technology and medicine, of course. So there's different things like clinical research, regulatory affairs, there is medical devices. It's so many things that fall underneath the umbrella of biotechnology. And the reason why I wanted to go into this field is simply representation. Like I stated before, you are only going to be in the conversations. And when I say I mean the groups of people. So Black, brown, marginalized groups. We are only going to be in the conversation if we are in the rooms. Most oftentimes we find ourselves being one of a few Black people in the room, one of the few underserved communities in the room when it comes to science. And so it's super important for representation to be put out there. Funny story, not going to make this a long spiel, but I watched a movie, Just Right. If you guys know what that movie is, it's with Queen Latifah and Common. They fell in love through basketball. At the time, I was like 10 years old, really enjoyed basketball, really enjoyed science. And what I found is that I wanted to go into physical therapy. Now you see, I've transitioned my career field. But I just ultimately fell in love with science. It started off with benchtop science, where I'm a researcher. pipetting, doing all of the things in the background. Now moving a little bit in the forefront, getting to communicate with patients and blend the two, which is a little bit of bench top with a little bit of in person, and helping people get through their phases. So phase one, phase two, where you get to see some of the dosaging and volunteers who come in to see if the medicines that have gone through different trials is even going to work effectively. And so, moral of the story, I'm going to wrap it back in. Just Right was a representation. Yes, ultimately, I didn't choose physical therapy, but it was because I seen a Black woman in a position that wasn't just a standard doctor. You know what I mean? And so I never wanted to necessarily go down the MD track, even though my life is a movie. So who knows what Deshari is going to do next? You know, this is a track that I could very well go into being a medical doctor, and that's not off the table. If the Lord is willing, maybe I would do it, but we'll see on the next episode of Deshari is discovering her career path. But moral of the story, representation is why I wanted to do science. Science has been a love for my whole life. I've done every type of dissection. I've done all types of different labs you can think of. And it's just something that bridges the gap between helping people and actually solving problems.
I love that. I
Mhm.
love that. You are a genius. Listen, I'm I applaud you
Thank
for
you.
loving science and going through that whole spiel. In that documentary, I'm gonna mess up his name, but the doctor that was looking at the youth that were doing a like a STEM project. I'm
Mhm.
about to mess up his name. I'm trying to go to my little cheat sheet. What was his name? It's gonna come to me. Hold on, I'm almost to his little picture there. But he was Andrew. That's what it was. Andrew. So Andrew, Dr. Pack, and he's from Haiti.
Mhm.
So when they were trying to find the vein and working on the mannequins and all those different things, they're in the third grade.
Mm.
They're in the third grade trying to do this. And I'm like, oh my God. For
But
one,
it
I learned later on that
Yeah.
I'm terrified of blood. So that's don't
But
judge me. But but I just felt like that was cool to see the kids trying to do that.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, but it starts that young. Like I was Oh man, I
yeah,
don't know if I was even younger than 3rd grade going to science camps just like that. I remember going to OU
right.
downtown and seeing cat cadaver. Like I was like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?" And doing so many different, dissecting a cow eyeball. Like it's starts that young. It's never
Wow.
just getting into it once you're old enough to feel like you can connect to it. It's exploring while you're young. And I believe that the youth is really the generation to penetrate because it's when their minds are open and they can see all the things and do all. And like I said, I was watching Just Right at 10 years old. And so that it opened my mind to a different range of medicine. And so
Right.
it's representation in many different forms. You have to
Mm.
see it at 3rd grade, 2nd grade, even 1st grade. It starts with doing a dissection. What am I saying? Getting a strawberry and extracting the DNA from the strawberry. That's something simple. And then you move
Right.
up, and you move up, and you move up, and you get to do what I've done at Langston University, which is send a rocket into suborbital space. You know what I mean? So it's
Mhm.
not just when you get to college or just when you get to high school and they're trying to figure out, oh, is college even something I want to do? No, it starts at 3rd grade. It starts at 1st grade, really.
Yes, to start off very young. And I think this is empowering for the parents. The parents should really take the time to watch this film with their youth and just because I mean, I'm quite sure there's children today that say, I want to be a doctor.
Mhm.
And we're like, oh, that's wonderful. But ask more questions. What kind of doctor would you like to be? There are so many different ones, like they showed on the film. and just figuring out which type of program that you want to go to, and just being able to see people that look like you in those fields.
Hmm.
I think that representation does matter, just like the other lady was mentioning with her vaccine. And so this is something that um, I want to say it's eye opening in different ways. One
Hmm.
thing that was a little touchy, I'm gonna mess up her name, but the let me see if I can find her face real quick. But the one that was concerned about, I think it was Tiffany, Dr. Lou. She was concerned about the patient that didn't have health insurance.
Mm.
So if they don't have health insurance, how are you going to pay for treatments?
Hmm.
Um, and then let's say if you end up having some type of mental health question or episode that may require for you to get some additional treatments, whether it's therapy, inpatient, and all that, how is that going to be paid for? And in this climate right now, we're fighting for healthcare, right? We're fighting for people that have applied and paying for healthcare, and now it's going to cost too much for them to continue those payments. And like she said in the film, so what do I pick? Do I pick food or do I pick healthcare?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
It's
We already know what we're going to pick.
yeah. It's a
Yeah.
tough. It's so tough to navigate because it's like, unfortunately, in the climate that we are in, it's not gonna get
Mhm.
any better before we can
Right.
get over the hump. We still have, 2-ish years until we can, maybe see the light at the end of the tunnel. And so, and this film is back in what, 2023? So
Right.
you can only imagine, what we're gonna face in the near future. Yeah.
In the near future, yeah, definitely, definitely. And they're into their residency now. So it looks like, so according to, and they have this education guide that I'm scrolling through, so that's why I keep looking down. But they talk about the step-by-step guide in becoming a doctor.
Hmm.
And so it looks like the first step, okay, so of course you got to excel in high school, ninth through 12th grade. They put that on there. You got to make sure you have that. And
Hmm.
then get into a good college or university pre-med, complete a bachelor's degree, um, and take a
Yep.
MCAT, which is a medical college admission test.
MCAT.
MCAT. Okay, thank you. MCAT. See, thank you for correcting me, Deshar. Appreciate you. Oh, and then with that, you have to aim for a score of 510 or more
Hmm.
out of a 528. So, especially if you want to go to competitive schools. Now, one of them said they applied for over 50 schools.
Yeah, it's
So
super,
you can
super, super. It's super competitive. I've worked with a lot of students who are navigating the journey of medical school, and not only do you have to succeed in high school to get in a decent college. I wouldn't even say, see, this is my college, brain and what I know now. Do well in high school, get into a college, excel in college. Okay? That means get your plan of study, follow the plan of study to a T, navigate the department that you need to be in, which is biology. See if you can get ahead in some way, shape, or form. Because sometimes they don't tell you about the uh, information like LSAMP or a 3-in-1 program where you can get ahead or maybe get some money or get some resources that would help you out in college. Then you navigate that, like you said, the MCAT, but it doesn't even stop there. You have to make sure your personal
right.
statement is good. You have to make sure
Oh,
you interview good, and then so it's like you paying all this money for these schools because unless they waive it, you're paying for each admission into each application.
application. Yes, that's what she said. Ooh, now how much are those applications, may I ask? I feel like it's more than
Woo!
$25.
Some of them are uber, uber, uber expensive. I believe between 50, I want to say 50 to $250. Like that's the range.
And that's for each one that you apply to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Well, then
It's
they said attend a medical school, which is right. But especially because if they're the probably the more prestige it is, the higher
So
that fee.
Stanford, Harvard, John Hopkins, those ones are.
Are expensive. Okay. So it says attend a medical school for 4 years, and then you have to complete your residency, excuse me, for 3 to 7 years. So if you have family medicine, that may be 3, internal medicine, pediatric is 3, general surgery is 5, neurosurgeon is 7.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then you also have your fellowships and board certifications after that. So you have, which is an extra 1 to 3 years, depending on which stage that you're in. So I think when we when we come across a medical student, we need to give them as much grace as possible because they've been in school for quite some time, and still not even finished even after that. So it's a lot. Now to straight with your journey, you finish your masters. So are you going into are you still trying to explore which way right now? Like I know you're trying to.
So, this is my exploratory time getting into my big girl pants. And so right now I'm going into a program that's going to span the spring semester, which is a clinical research program. It's going to be focusing on oncology and GI. And so I'm going to be working with Morehouse School of Medicine and Grady Hospital, and they actually have a connection with AbbVie as well, which is a pharmaceutical company. Typically, you'll see most biotechnology students kind of focusing on the pharmaceutical companies, which are mostly on the East Coast. Some in the Midwest, like AbbVie is in Chicago, but they have them spanning everywhere. So I won't even go into the location basis, but um, yeah, I'm exploring right now, getting my feet wet, getting my resume and my experience up. Like I said, medical school is not off the table because these are transitional programs. So I've worked with lots of people. I've worked with medical doctors and uh, PhDs and master students in research. So none of this is off the table. There have been so many people who have been in the lab doing benchtop science that are in medical school, just getting their research under their belt for their program. So I'm on a track that could lead to medical, but you know, I'm a creative girl,
You're
and
young.
I love
Yeah.
I love this. I love talking to people. So we'll see. Like I said, tune in.
Right, for the next episode of Deshari Miller. Yeah,
So
so I have one last question before I let you go. Um, and they talked a little bit about it, but you also mentioned clinical trials and research.
mhm,
Um, and throughout this cancer journey of mine, I've learned a lot in regards to research,
mhm,
especially clinical trials, and how um, the lack of information is given by these different organizations, or we'll say, I'll just say, well, no, I don't want to say pharmaceutical companies because it's not just them, but it's a variety of people. But they don't have the information that they need from certain particular cultures because they don't receive it.
mm,
And I find that alarming. I've been on an oncology board of a patient council in regards to how do we address your culture to get them to try clinical trials. And that was such a valuable discussion that we needed to have. But then once you have that discussion, how do you bring that back to the community to encourage them to give it a try? That's where it gets difficult.
yeah. those are the questions that are constantly being asked as I navigated through my program, as I'm currently doing this, is reaching the people who need it, because it's not necessarily the people who know. The people who know are getting the help. It's those people who have to use a landline, get a shuttle, use bus services, who don't have the money, the insurance to get to the location. It's those people who need the help. And in order to, I suppose, what we would have to do, and this is just all my thoughts, and nothing associated with anybody, but my thoughts is boots on the ground. That's what it's going to have to be, in many different formats. So yes, we have social media, but we need to also have, papers and flyers and connection with churches and going to the different what's it called, Salvation Armies and Goodwills to promote this, I guess, clinic of sorts. But then it gets a little muddy because then you're like not wanting to overly publicize something that is serious, because then people can associate that with non-credibility. So
I see
that's
what you
where
mean.
it muddies the waters a little bit. So I understand why it is the way it is, but at the same time, there has to be something different. And it's going to start with people who look like us, because it affects us as a group.
Right.
And it's
Right.
not going to be the people that you want, who have the $1 billion sitting there to give to Albert Einstein Medical School. I'm sorry to say,
Right.
but you know what I mean? It's going to be the people who climb the ladder and reach
Mm.
and pull and go back to get the people that they know need the help. And
Okay.
unfortunately, we're still navigating that journey. People are still in school. Like, we have to realize that it takes a lot of time. Like, my generation is a generation that is learning from your generation, and we have a lot more access, and that can produce stagnation sometimes, because when you have a whole lot of information, it can cause you to say, oh, I know the work that's going to go into that. With you guys maybe didn't have a whole lot of the information that we have, and the overload of that information maybe caused you guys to put one foot in front of the other faster. But we're learning, we're teaching, we're growing,
Right.
and we're not too far removed. And so we have to be more patient with our community to get people to the other side of that bridge, where we do have the money, we do have the wealth, we do have the knowledge. We are in the rooms where the conversations are happening, where we can understand, wait, this is happening? Because some people don't even know that this is happening. And
That's
so
true.
there's a lot of factors. And so I guess the first step is patience. It's
Mhm.
recognizing what we're going through, and understanding that we have to be patient, but also being accountable for what we're doing with the knowledge that we know.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. And on that note, I think, Deshari, I'm going to bring you back to Surety Tuesdays whenever your schedule allows, because I understand you have a lot on your plate. So, but whenever you're available, I would love for you to come back and we can just talk about health disparities and just getting information out to the people, and how do we do that? Because patience is the key. That is definitely the key, and being in those spaces to have that opportunity. So, well, thank you so much for coming on Strategy Tuesdays
Thank you for
and
having me.
talking about this document. Yes, of course, always. And shout out to Lala. Lala, I know that you had to work, and it's okay. So do not feel bad, because I know she's like, oh my God, Bernice, don't kill me. No, I'm not. I'm not. I promise. But I understand when your job calls, you have to go. So make sure that you go and view the documentary, The Calling. The Calling will be aired on PBS if you follow their streaming services or their apps. You can go to their website, and the documentary is there as well. And so, without further ado, I'm going to end off, but I also want to end with a couple of these commercials because we do have some breaking news from Share the Tea if you haven't been following me. And I do want to say, once again, Deshari, thank you for coming on. Don't forget to tune in to Share the Tea Tuesdays on all podcast stations, wherever that you listen to your podcasts. I'm on all of them. Hopefully, you're still there. And then it's also live streamed on social media. So you can follow me on all social media platforms except for Snap of the Chat. Remember, we share the tea. We don't spill it because we are being intentional, insightful, and impactful in everything that we do. And Deshari, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New
Yes, whatever
Year.
yes, we're going into 2026 with a bang, with Lord's blessing, hopefully. Hopefully. All right, guys. So tune into these videos. I'm sorry, were you about to say something? I cut you off.
No, you're good.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, guys, we're going to tune out with the rest of these commercial breaks. See you later. Bye.
Breaking news. Share the Tea now offers DTF of all types, gang sheets, custom prints, t-shirts, and so much more. Visit our website at sharethetllc.org and click on Shop the Tea Small Business. Thank you for your support.
You can find Share the Tea Tuesdays podcast on all podcast stations and follow Share the Tea LLC on social media by typing the @ at Share the Tea with V. That's V as in victory. That's the @ followed by Share the Tea with V. That's V as in victory. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and tune in every week. Find Share the Tea Tuesdays on all social media platforms. Just use the @ at Share the Tea with V. Again, that's V as in victory. The website, sharethetllc.org. Now, pour up that cup of tea. Let's talk, baby.